this one off with whoever is subscribes to me. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. My thing is, I'm fairly still new to driving, so my videos are going to be about what I've experienced so far, and just to prepare like newer drivers what to expect when they get out here. So that's what, and being a female, so my experience with that. So this one is going to be about the time that I was in a team driving situation. It was the second company I worked for. Something was wrong with my truck, and it was in the shop, and something was wrong with this guy's truck, and his was in the shop, but he was a flatbed driver. And he never drove van. So, you know, there's a difference when backing up in a flatbed versus a van. Dry van, you can't see around it. Flatbed, you can see basically everywhere around you, basically, when you're backing up. And usually flatbed drivers don't really have to back up. They just pull up and they get unloaded by like a crane or whatever takes off their product. So they really don't back up that much. But if they do, they do. So he was in the shop and I was in the shop. Like I said, I was fairly new to driving, so I was still suffering. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know anything about truck driving at all when I first started, at all. So this second company that I got hired on to, I was still really nervous about backing up, which was a bad combination because he knew how to back up, but it was a different perspective for him to back up a dry van truck, you know, versus a flatbed truck. So I was teaching him too, but I couldn't really teach him that much because I didn't know that much. So we were basically learning together. I think he was on my truck. He was on my truck. He opted to transfer from flatbed to dry van because he wanted, you know, to be team drive. We talked about it or whatever, and got acquainted with each other because, and this was a perfect stranger to me, but being as though I worked at this one company, the first company I started with, I was on the truck with two different trainers, and then when I got to the second company, I was on the truck with a trainer again, and then he released me into my own truck, which I was completely still nervous and unfamiliar with because he didn't teach me how to back up. So I was still out here trying to learn how to back up by myself. I had the concept slightly, but the school that I went to, they didn't really focus on showing us how to back up. They said, we're here to help you get your license and you learn everything else out there when you're in the industry. So that was a fail on them. But they gave me the basic knowledge. Basic, truly basic. So I got in this truck with this guy, and at first, it was no different than being on the truck with a trainer. You know, we shared the small, very small space in this truck. So what's going to happen after, you know, time being around people, he became attracted to me. So, you know, he made it clear that, you know, he was interested in me, but I expressed to him that I did not want to get down like that. So I'm here to do a job and make this money. And he said he understood and we supposed to be cool or whatever the case may be. But it got worse as time went on. He became like extremely overprotective. Like one time I pulled up in a truck stop and there's a guy that I knew when I was a child, and we bumped into each other right there, And he was very like over, like, who's that? And why you all smiling and laughing when you talking to him? Like, he became like possessive for no reason. And I didn't understand. It made me feel uncomfortable. And I told him, and he acted like he didn't know what I was talking about. So this one time we're driving, and a lot of different instances popped up that made me very uncomfortable. This one time, he drove at night and I drove during the daytime. So this one time, I'll give you two stories. This one time we stopped at a rest area, and the trailer lights, the electrical line, wasn't giving any power to the trailer. And if it doesn't give any power, the lights don't light up. If you turn your turn signals on, you cannot get over or change lanes or get off highways or put on your hazards or anything. The whole trailer was dark. So I pulled over into a rest area because another driver, drove by me and like slowed down, rolled the window down and said, "The trailer's out," and let me know that my trailer was out. And of course I thanked the man, and I go and I pull into the rest area, and I call dispatch and tell them, this is a breakdown situation. I'm out here driving hazardously on the road because my lights in my trailer don't work. So they told me, they're gonna call breakdown and send some road sign out to, change my electrical line. The man was sleeping at the time and didn't know that I stopped or there was an issue with the trailer. So after I called breakdown, I woke him up, and he was like, "I thought we was still for a little bit too long," because breakdown takes like at least 2.5 hours, 2 hours to get you. It doesn't matter where you are. It always takes about 2 to 2.5 hours for breakdown or roadside to get to your truck, no matter where you are. So he said the truck, wasn't moving, and I said because the trailer was out. And he told me, before I make any kind of decisions like that, I need to let him know that we're stopping, and to basically get his permission to call breakdown. And I said, I don't have to tell you when I feel unsafe driving. If you're sleeping, I'm gonna handle that, because that's what, if I was on my own, that's what I would do. So he got like extremely upset and perturbed, like, he was the boss and I was the employee, and I didn't like that. So that was another thing that I felt uncomfortable about, and I was like, okay, that's 2 strikes. I said, I'm trying to persist, because like I said, I was still having like anxiety attacks about backing up. I was scared to death. So I really felt more comfortable with somebody with me to like get out and spot me or whatever the case may be, which I learned later on. Never trust a spotter. Always get out and look on your own. Don't ever trust a spotter. It doesn't matter, in what situation. Double check yourself. Don't let whoever spot you. Make sure you spot yourself. So that was strike 2. Strike 3 came when there was actually another incident that happened before strike 3, and was really, I was leaning. I said, I can't take this anymore. We were going through Georgia, and that's where he was from. And we had a truck and a trailer, and he decided he wanted to make an impromptu home visit, and drove that truck into his neighborhood where he lives at. And I mean, it was tight up in this neighborhood. He drove up into this apartment complex, and it was tight. It was so tight to the point where when he tried to U-turn to turn around and get out, my fairing on my truck hit my trailer and bent it. And I said, yo, like, you got to call that in, because basically that's an accident, because you damaged the property, and this is not my truck, it's the company's truck. And he told me, we ain't calling it no accident, we ain't even supposed to be here. And I'm like, again, you're doing things that you want to do, and like this is your truck, like you're owner operator. No, that was another issue. He went home, got plates of food for himself. Like, it was a trip. We was there way longer than we were supposed to be. Then the last and final straw was, he's driving. It's night. I'm in the sleeper. Oh, the other issue. He had a problem with climbing into the top bunk and didn't want to sleep on top because he was too tall, you know, for the beds are the same size, so that made no sense to me. He just didn't want to climb. So I'm up there dangerously on the top bunk, trying to sleep while this man is driving. So I never got adequate sleep because I was afraid I was gonna fall. You know, if he stopped too quick or whatever the case may be. So he's driving one night, and I smell. This is right after he came from when we left his home. I smell something that he was smoking, and he was doing while he was driving. I said, that's it. The next morning, when he went to the sleeper, I arranged with dispatch to drive to the nearest terminal, which was in Tennessee. I let them know everything that was going on, how uncomfortable I felt, how unsafe I felt. And that final straw, like I said, I am not a snitch, but if he go down, I'm going down, because I'm in the truck with him. You're not going to, you know, go in my pocket, take my money from me, because you can't refrain from the getting high. Sorry, just, I didn't want to say it, but that's what it is. And I arranged with dispatch to go to the nearest terminal, and I did. And once I got there, I needed him to get off my truck, and without incident, because I already knew he wasn't right in the head. Something. He was very unstable. So got to the terminal. I went in. I said, I'm here to get this man off my truck. And they said, okay, we've been expecting you. I said, I don't feel like safe. So I'm gonna stay in here if y'all can get somebody to go out there and get him off the truck. He did not have no idea that he was getting off my truck. I didn't tell him, and which was wrong, but I was scared. Seriously, I was scared how he would react if we were by ourselves, and I told him that. So I didn't say anything for my safety. I felt threatened. So I went, they came out, they had me in an office, they escorted him off the truck. They couldn't go in the truck while he was getting his stuff, but he tore my property up. He tore it up. He threw all kind of stuff on my mattress. He cut my cords to my chargers. He, my extension cord with the different ports in it, he banged and broke that. He tore up my stuff. And I just took it as a loss, because I wasn't about to argue over property, you know, and I knew he would react angrily, so I was already expecting him to do something, and that's what he did. I'm not saying this to discourage anybody from team driving. That's just my experience that I've had. I never had a problem like that with a trainer, you know, becoming attracted to me, because I was in the truck with 3 different men. They never said anything to me. You know, it was strictly, you know, driving and that's it. But that one there, he went overboard. And I will never team drive ever again because of that situation. I learned a lot from that. And that's my story on team driving. I hope y'all stayed to the end. Like I said, I'm going to be uploading videos every Sunday. So I got a couple of them lined up already to try to keep y'all interested. So, like I said, anybody that subscribes, thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. And I hope somebody is learning something from this. But like I said, my experiences are my experiences. I try to drop little dimes and nuggets and knowledge just so you can expect the unexpected. You may never experience the things that I'm talking about in these videos, but it's just something to keep a watchful eye on, and that's why I'm telling you know, what it is. Just trying to prepare people. Like I said, especially females. Not to be discriminating, because men go through sexual harassment and all of that stuff also. So I'm just speaking on my perspective. Alright, I hope y'all stayed, and I hope y'all got something from that. Alright, y'all be careful. It's a cloudy day out here today. I'm on my way to a back haul, pick up some water, and take it back to